Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Jordan.
Hello. Michael here.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
Oh, that's great.
No complaints. Hold on.
This is George.
Wait, hold on, please.
Good morning.
Hi. Hold on just 1 second, please. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Good morning, or good afternoon.
I know.
Good.
Good, everybody. Have you met George?
No, not yet. I should have said hello. George, are you still there?
That's
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, George. Michael here.
Yes. Hi.
Good
Nice to see you again,
morning.
Ifeoluwa. Hello.
Hi. Good morning.
Where's the whole team?
George, can you show him around the office?
Yeah.
I was expecting to see hundreds and hundreds of Nigerian teenagers.
Yeah, I think some of them are in school this morning, this afternoon. He said they had a lesson. So those are okay. Those are some of them. Say hello. Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, so this one's just graduated from high school yesterday. They had their valedictory service.
Hey, congratulations.
And where's Bodunde?
Yeah.
Introduce yourself. Yeah, so that's the one that's going to be reporting back to you. Bodunde, say hi to Michael.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello from New
Yeah.
York. I'm calling from New York City.
Wipes. I'll show you where the wipes are. So, Bodunde, you're going to be taking notes.
Where are the wipes? Where are the
I
wipes?
That's my daughter.
Yes.
All right, so we have Tolani online. Balogun will be joining us, and then a couple of other mentors in Nigeria will be joining online.
I mean, if too many of the young people, are in class, should we hold off for a little while, or should we begin?
No, I think we should begin. Remember what I told you about the time constraints?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be recorded. So Mr. George goes to Aquinas and Fiwashai every Thursday. So the goal is for him to be able to reproduce what we're doing.
Okay.
Mr. George.
Okay, and
all right, are you ready to get us started?
Wait, hold on just 1 second. Ifeoluwa.
Yes, I'm here.
I can't see your face, and
I don't know why it keeps going off.
Yeah, but also you're backlit. You have the light behind you, so I can't see your
all
face.
Right.
You're in shadow.
Let me adjust the light.
Yes, please. Or turn your face toward the light, please.
Okay, is it better?
Yes, much better. And then tilt the camera down so I can see your face more clearly. That's good.
All right.
And also for the guys in the room there, I'm looking at the bookshelf. Tilt the camera down.
They said down.
Yeah, down. I want to see faces. That's
it. Hello.
I want to feel like I'm actually in Akure, okay?
Oh, yes. I think Margaret is online. Margaret, can you say hi?
Hello.
Show your face.
Show your face.
Okay.
Yes, all cameras on. My camera's on. I want your camera to be on.
Okay.
Okay.
And I think Adebola too is here.
Yes, please. All cameras on.
All right. Oh, hi, Adebola. Good morning. Can you hear him? Oh.
Adebola, were you there? Briefly.
Yeah, I saw him now.
And then George. Okay.
All right.
Good.
Okay, let's get started.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get the
Hi, Tolani.
Good day. Good day,
Hello.
Michael.
Hi. Nice to
How you
see you.
doing?
Nice to see you again, Margaret.
Yes.
Good. Hold on just 1 second. Okay.
Where are the other? They've left the camera again. Oh, hi. Where is Ogida and Bodunde? Huh?
So by the way, I'm also recording this over here.
Okay, good.
Okay. On Zoom. I'm recording on Zoom, and then afterward I can send the link. Okay.
Yes, and then George will be responsible for teaching it in the class.
Okay. Okay. Good. I'm hearing some background. Is there like a TV on or a radio on or something?
No.
In Akure, I hear some background, I think.
Let's make
Okay.
Yeah, don't be in the camera.
Okay. So just to be clear, who Ifeoluwa, just to be clear about your whole team here, okay? So I know Adebola is helping with content creation, yes?
Yeah.
Who else? Who else is involved? Because just to let you know, because of course I want this to be a talk about communications and content and how the team can more effectively and persuasively communicate with the outside audience, with the international audience. Okay. So who all is here doing what?
Bodunde will be doing a report. Bodunde, can you speak?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good. We see the young people there. That's in the office, right?
Yes, that's Kuda Complex, Alabaka.
Do they have enough chairs there?
Oh, of course.
Well, maybe they should
I
push.
thought George can show you.
Well, maybe they can push back the camera so I can see all of them at once.
Yeah, I think they're getting settled.
Because of course, afterward we're going to want a group photo. I like group photos.
All right. That looks better.
Okay. So go ahead. So tell me about good. So tell me about the team members that are doing what.
All right.
Or should we wait for George to come back?
Just in the other room.
Oh, you're in there. You're in the room. I see it's like we're juggling balls, and sometimes we're dropping a ball that we lose someone's face, and then we gain another.
All right, so Bodunde, get started, introduce the people in the room, and then we'll get started.
And then we lost Margaret.
No, she's here.
Is she?
Yeah. Bodunde, can you hear me?
She just turned off her camera.
Yeah, so I'm sorry for that.
It's okay. Go ahead. So
all right.
Yes.
So we started now.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So good morning, the Americans in the building, and good afternoon to the Nigerians. I welcome every one of us to this section, and I believe this section is going to be great. My name is George, as you both have been talking, and I will be hosting today's section. Yeah, so today we'll be discussing mentorship for the next generation with our guest, Mr. Michael Jordan. So let's welcome speaker here today, Mr. Michael Jordan, and as we are very ready to hear from you. I'm going to introduce you, our guest speaker, Jordan, the founder of MJ Communications. MJ Method Communications, a New York-based boutique consultancy specializing in global communications, media relations, executive coaching, staff training, thought leadership, strategic storytelling, and other forms of content creation. So, over the past 25 years, we've lived on 4 continents. I said 4 continents. Reported from 30 countries. 30 countries. A foreign correspondent. He also taught international journalism to several students as a visiting professor. And he also shared his global communication skills, strategies, and storytelling with clients in Africa and China. His services, do you want to know some of the services? Okay, let me just read it out for you. Services include executive coaching, corporate training, public speaking, content marketing, writing, training, career development coach, content strategy, strategic planning, and editing. Very, very wonderful and great. Today, Mr. Michael Jordan will be sharing valuable insights with us on our topic, mentorship for the next generation. I encourage you to grab writing materials, and this journey is going to be wonderful. So, Mr. Michael Jordan, you are very much welcome.
Thank you.
The floor is yours.
Well, thank you for that introduction. You know what? Now, what George just read could all be a lie. It could be, okay? And that's partly what this discussion is about, okay? Is that you can't believe everything you read online, okay? There are lots of people out there trying to lie to us, trying to trick us, okay? And so that's why for your organization, you face two main challenges that I face, that we all face, okay? Is that if you're going to introduce yourself online, and I want the young people to know that too, okay? That nowadays, because there is so much lying and so much trickery online, all right? People trying to hurt us online with lies, that we all face pressure to prove, first of all, that we are who we say we are and that we actually do what we say we do. Anyone this afternoon here in New York City, I could start an organization. I could say that I'm starting a youth mentorship organization. I create a little website for myself, okay? Maybe I steal photos online, okay? And I put my face among young people and I say, there's my team, okay? And so we all need to work hard to prove that we are who we say we are and actually doing what we say we do. And the second thing is then once we can prove that, okay, and lower, there's a wall of suspicion. Just imagine, guys, whenever we meet a stranger, just think about yourselves. Whenever you meet a stranger, there's always a wall of suspicion. Who is this person? I don't know them. Are they friend or foe? Are they trying to hurt me somehow? Okay. And so how to lower the wall of suspicion and to build a bridge of trust and understanding step by step. And the only way to build that bridge, and that's one of the focal points of this talk, one of the only ways to build that bridge of trust and understanding is with evidence to prove that you're not lying, okay? So then the second main challenge is once we can actually prove that we are who we say we are and doing what we say we do, then how to prove that we are as good as we say we are, as impactful. Okay, it's not just that, hey, we're working with the youth of Nigeria, okay, youth in Akure, and so what? What are you actually doing positive? Okay, we're gonna have to prove that we're having some positive effect, positive influence, positive impact. How do we do that? And that's where it becomes detective work, okay, for you guys to start to think like detectives. All right, because I'll talk in a minute about my background as a journalist, as an international journalist, and how I took all those skills and strategies and now apply it to global communications. But I also love this because it's partly detective work too. Something's happening in Akure, Nigeria. What's happening? How do we share that story? How do we prove what's happening in your hometown? That something positive is happening, okay? Why should I, in New York or London or Paris or Berlin, if I have a lot of money and I'm looking to give it to an organization, a youth organization, why should I believe you guys? You say, hey, we aspire. Youth Mentorship Initiative, we're doing wonderful things. Oh, really? Why should we believe you? Okay. Wait, I see someone else trying to enter the discussion. Do you see what I mean? Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about that and how to create content on your website and on your social media channels that will be more believable. Okay? How to lower that wall of suspicion and build a bridge of trust, especially who's your main audience? Who's your main target audience? Anyone? Who's the main audience you're aiming for? A nice guy like me in New York? Who are you aiming for?
Who's trying to speak?
At this point, anyone who wants to speak. I have some ideas who you're aiming for. I think you guys would want more money for more resources, more programs and projects and initiatives. You need financial resources, right? So you need to appeal to donors, okay, to organizations, companies, foundations with money to prove to them that you are truly who you say you are, doing what you say you're doing, and actually as impactful as you claim to be. Okay? Am I wrong about that? Ifeoluwa. That's generally correct about the target audience?
Yes, and also more young people.
More young people. See, now that's another audience, okay? And for the young people, the young guys there in the office, okay? Think about your friends in Akure or in another town or city, and you say, hey, you should join us. We are a wonderful organization. And they say, I'm very busy. Or why should I join your organization? What can you do for me? I promise. We're doing awesome things. We're doing wonderful things. Oh, yeah? But why should I believe you? Prove to me that your organization is doing something good and will benefit me, that I should spend my precious time or make the effort to come by bus or to walk there or whatever it may be. So how do you convince others to join you? Right? It's got to be more than just words, because words could be empty words with no meaning. Right? What do you guys think? Is that correct? I've never been to Akure. Okay. What is the challenge? By the way, while we're talking about this, what is the challenge you guys face in attracting in attracting more young people? Do you have a challenge, face the challenge of attracting more young people?
I want you guys to be the ones speaking.
Yeah, I want to hear some Nigerian voices.
You can unmute your mic, George.
All right, Ma. Thank you. Thank you, Ma. You know, whenever we go out to meet these guys, they are always like, what can you offer me? You know, things that can offer them money like immediately, things that can generate income for them, not like investment or something like that. They need things that, you know, when you put these things across to them, they're like, can this generate money for me right now? And if the answer is no, and I want to believe that would be all. But these guys, they don't really see what we are trying to do, that we are trying to put their future on the right track. But these guys are very much concerned about what is happening right now and things they want to gain right now. I think that's one of the greatest challenges we face here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a presentation for you. Okay, I have a PowerPoint that I'm going to show you, but actually that is something I talk about a lot and I think about a lot, which is self-interest. Okay, self-interest, that we all have a self-interest, whether we're actually thinking about it or natural instinct. We're always thinking, unfortunately, we're always thinking, what about me? Why is this good for me? Okay, if you say, read this, okay, someone says, read this. Naturally, we may think, well, why? Why do I need to read this, right? Do this. Why is it good for me to do what you're telling me to do? Okay, so whether we say it, think it, or just our natural reaction is, why is this in my self-interest? And guys, you know what? This is one of the keys to successful communication in life itself, is empathy. And I talk about this a lot too, empathy. Do you know what empathy is? Let me explain what empathy is, the way I usually describe it, okay? The difference between sympathy, okay, and empathy. If today, after this meeting, you go out into the street and you see a woman pushing a child, pushing her child in a wheelchair, okay? You might feel badly, oh boy, that looks sad, okay? That looks difficult. I feel sad for the mother and the child. That's sympathy, okay? Empathy, even if you're a boy, if you're a man and you see a woman like that, you can still be like, wow, imagine if I were the mother of that child every day, seeing other children running and playing and laughing and all that, and my child is in a wheelchair. If I were in her shoes, how difficult would that be every day if my child were in a wheelchair? Okay, that's empathy. Okay, to imagine yourself in someone else's shoes. And the reason why this is so important, just especially for young people, to develop this as a skill, because whenever you communicate, if you say, hey, guys, to other young guys, you should join our organization, do this, do that, to be more effective with your communications is, let me try to understand in their shoes, why are they resisting? Why are they suspicious? Why don't they believe me? Well, maybe it's because of this. Maybe it's because of that. Well, if they don't trust me because of this reason, then let me try to overcome that. Let me try to prove to them why they shouldn't be suspicious because of that reason. Okay? If they don't see, if they're wondering, like George just said, they want to know, why is this good for me right now, today? The next time when I communicate, let me explain to them why it's good for them today, in their benefit, in their self-interest, okay? That's thinking more empathetically and strategically, and it's the key to more effective communications, okay? Also with donors, those with money. If I were an organization or a company with money, looking for organizations in Nigeria or in Africa itself to support, What would they be looking for and why? What kind of organizations doing what? Okay. And why? What kind of organizations? That is a key to more effective communications. That's now strategic communications. Okay. Is with empathy and to try to understand that's your target. That's my target. If you don't think about the target, who exactly you're trying to reach, then you're just firing off blindly, okay, into the darkness with your words. Everyone, come and join us, okay? And then you're not hitting your target versus, no, let me think about the target, my target audience, who they are, why they are my audience, what they're looking for from me, and why they're looking for that from me. And now let me try to aim my words more directly, more accurately at what their thoughts are, what their feelings are, okay? You guys see what I mean? George, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's great. We can move on, please.
But you see, you know what? It's very difficult in life. It's impossible to be purely empathetic, to truly, fully 100% understand what exactly someone is thinking or feeling or believing. But the key is to strive for that, to at least try to understand, try to imagine as much as possible. That's why I say to strive for empathy, okay? To be realistic about it. But that's the way to be more accurate, more effective with our communications in life itself, okay? If you say, my mother, my father, they don't understand me. My husband, my wife, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, they don't understand me. Well, how about you try to understand from their perspective, okay? Maybe they are completely crazy. Maybe it is impossible to even strive to imagine. But if you at least tried and say, okay, from their perspective, maybe I understand why they say this, why they do that, why they feel that, why they believe that. Okay. But it's a key to more effective communications. That's strategic communications. Okay. Any questions? Any comments? I'm here for you. Ifeoluwa, what do you think?
We're ready to dive in.
Okay, let's dive in. All right. So I have a little presentation. So first of all, just to follow up on what George said, I do want you guys to know that, yes, I've been fortunate enough to have lived on 4 continents in 3 careers as an international journalist, also as a visiting professor of international journalism, and then now also global communications. And I lived in Africa. I was very happy to have the opportunity to live to live down south in the kingdom of Lesotho, high in the mountains of southern Africa. I lived there for 4 years with my wife, now ex-wife. She worked for the United Nations. Well, actually, she still works for the United Nations. But we were there in Africa for 4 years with our 3 children, too. All right. So my kids were with us in Lesotho. They went to an international school there in Lesotho. And so I was very fortunate to learn something about Africa and Africans and some of the challenges that some of the Africans were living with. And you know what? By the way, I also learned something about mentoring, why mentoring was so important, why mentoring in Africa was so important. I'll never forget in Lesotho, Lesotho has a very serious problem with HIV. Okay. They have a very serious health crisis there. Okay. And I remember when I lived there from 2011 to 2015. And by then people told me my new Basutu, it's mostly the Basutu people who live there. My new Basutu friends and colleagues told me that HIV has been so terrible that it's killed many in the middle generation. Many mothers and fathers have been killed by HIV. And so our young people like you have lost many mentors, many people in the middle generation who would be mentors to the young people were lost. And so I remember people saying to me, because then I was working as a trainer, as a coach, I was organizing different health and journalism trainings. And so then they were saying that what you're doing, Michael, is very important because our country and our people need more mentors. So even though I've never been to Nigeria, not yet, one day, because now I have so many new Nigerian friends, okay? But I understand the importance, I understand the importance of mentoring the youth, okay? Have some idea. Empathetically, I'm using skills of empathy, trying to understand what the situation is like in Akure, okay? And why mentoring young people like you is so important, okay? To help give some skills, some guidance, some direction, even some tough love to guide you toward a brighter future, okay? So I just want to say that if anyone wants to add something, this is not just me talking, although I can. Any thoughts? Any comments? No? Let me at least ask, what do the three young guys think there? George, the three young guys in the room there. I would love to hear some thoughts from them.
Okay, good afternoon, sir.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What do you guys think so far of what we're talking about?
Personally, I have more or less of a suggestion.
What's that? What's that?
I said I have more or less of a suggestion. Okay, so I think people like more or less of a physical interaction.
They want more.
Than,
they want more or less?
Yes, they want more of a physical interaction. So I was thinking if the initiative and mentorship program, like the initiative, we aspire, we ourselves can create a medium of physical interactions, probably a camp or so. It will motivate people the more to join. We aspire.
You know, that's an interesting point. And now you're showing empathy. Okay, that's good that you're imagining, okay, from their perspective, they want more of this, they want more of that. So then your challenge as an organization is, how do we give them what they want? How do we give them what they need, right? To attract them, to keep them, and to deepen your impact on them, right? I have an idea that I want to share with you soon. I want to build up to it because I saw that on your website. Here, Margaret is coming back. I want to show you. Oh, wait. Yeah. I've been studying your website. Can you see this? Can you see my computer screen?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to explain to you.
Yes,
I'm going to explain to you soon how. Well, wait a minute. There were all these. Wait. Before, yeah. Okay. For all these testimonials, these are called testimonials, right? Your website has 5, 6 young people, okay, saying, we aspire, did this for me. We aspire, did that for me, okay? And I'm going to explain to you how to turn that into an actual story.
Sorry, if you're not talking, mute your mic. Mute the mic in the office.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And I'll explain how to turn these little testimonials of 1, 2, 3 sentences into actual pieces of evidence to prove your impact. Okay. So So how about let me begin then with my presentation, okay? Oh, not that. Hold on, hold on. Okay, here, I'm going to share my screen again. Can you guys see my PowerPoint here? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So I call this training Prove Your Impact, to challenge you, okay? Skills, strategies, and storytelling to overcome donor skepticism, or really any audience skepticism. Like Ifeoluwa said, that even other potential members might be skeptical. Why should I join you? Why should I believe you? Okay. So how to overcome any audience skepticism. Okay. So let me begin. Okay. That as I describe this, that we are all nowadays living in a sea of brands. Okay. There are brand names all around us. All of us are brands, not just cars and telephones and pizzerias and all that. But people like myself are a brand. You guys are a brand. Okay. We Aspire Youth Mentorship Initiative is a brand. Okay. And this is very overwhelming. We see all these brands because guess what? All of them say that they're good. It would be very rare to hear any company, any organization, any government or government agency or a communications consultant to say, I'm so-so at what I do. I'm mediocre, okay? Everyone has a self-interest to present themselves as very good, if not excellent at what they do, okay? So then our challenge is, how do we know who's telling the truth or not, okay? How do we know which products, which brands really are good or not? Which youth organizations? I've never been to Akure and I haven't researched it, but maybe in your city, in your hometown, there are other youth organizations. Maybe, okay? Ifeoluwa would know, but maybe there are others. So then you're saying, we are the best. If you're going to join a youth organization, join ours. Oh yeah, really? Why should I? Okay. So in this sea of brands, we see now this is all being recorded, okay? So you can read this more slowly and all that if you want, if you have the time, okay? So every brand is offering a product or service to a market of consumers. You guys are consumers, okay? That when a youth organization says, hey, join us, you are part of the target audience, part of the market. They want you as a consumer of their product, okay? So then how to stand out from the competition, okay? Because like I said, everyone's going to say we are the best. So sorry. As you see here, I wrote down here the two challenges: prove we are who we say we are, do what we do, and that we are exactly as good as we say we are, okay? So there are, guys, in the world, not just in Nigeria, but around the world, because I've been fortunate enough to have lived on 4 continents, okay? And I believe that there are generally 2 audiences in the world, okay? You see on the left-hand side, sheep, okay? That some people, even people within our families, within my family, friends, some people may be sheep-like, meaning following blindly, following unthinkingly, okay? Meaning that if I'm a company and I say, this phone, it's the best phone, the sheep-like audience is, okay, they said it's the best phone, I should buy that, okay? Or even right now here in New York City, across the street, there's a pizzeria that says New York's best pizza. And I said, oh, really? Says who? Who says it's the best? I'm not a sheep-like follower, okay? I don't just follow blindly, because then there's a second audience on the right-hand side. Those are the critical thinkers, stroking our chins thoughtfully, okay? And the critical thinkers are the ones who won't just believe automatically, okay? Just because they like you, maybe. They're actually going to say, prove to me that you are as good as you say you are. Okay? Prove to me. And then the question is, we talked about target audience. Then the question is how to prove it. Okay? I have come up with a definition. MJ, that's me. Okay? I came up with what I call strategic storytelling. Okay? Not just storytelling, not just any kind of storytelling. Maybe to you, storytelling sounds nice or soft, like, oh, that's something you do with a little child. Let me tell you a story. Okay? What I'm talking about with storytelling is the content on your website. All the content on your website is partly storytelling because you're telling a story about your organization, the work that you do, and the impact you're having on others. Okay. But what I call it is strategic storytelling. Like I talked about a few minutes ago, the idea of a strategy behind a storytelling. And what I call it, how I define it, my definition is storytelling for a purpose, meaning that we're aiming to achieve a strategic objective. What is it? We already discussed two of them. One, to attract more money, organizations that have money, that are maybe open to giving to us. So that's our strategy, okay? Or we want more young people to join us. That's our objective, our goal, okay? So then especially this kind of strategic storytelling, especially when we are under pressure to prove something, okay? And again, we talked about that a donor will say, prove to me that you're really doing good work for the youth, that you really are planting a seed and growing roots among young people like you to really improve your lives or to give you a brighter future, okay? Prove it to us, okay? So then, as I say with the next sentence, a key component, a key element of this content is, as I always say, concrete, meaning specific evidence, okay? Credible, meaning believable evidence, okay? Verifiable, meaning that it can be proven, okay? That you try to be transparent with your evidence. You don't just say to the audience, believe me, trust me, because then I say, why should I believe you? Who are you? Why should I trust you? No, 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 no. We must work hard to prove that, okay? And one way we do that, by the way, with the internet, okay, is with hyperlink, okay? You guys know what hyperlinks are?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, because this is really important. This is like, you know, what your website needs. And I'll go back to the website soon. What your website needs is when you say, we have reached 900 youth, okay? We've touched so far 900 youth, okay? Or that we've positively influenced, positively affected 900 youth. Right there, I would want to see a link, a hyperlink, that then the reader can click on that and go to see some of that strategic storytelling, which is evidence, which is proof that the organizations had a positive effect on young people like you, okay? So that's the way, as I said here, presented transparently, meaning we have nothing to hide, because there are many organizations out there that, again, could say we are a youth organization, but they're lying, or they have no proof, okay? And they just say, money, money, money. Click this button, send us money, okay? And they don't have evidence, so they're hiding the evidence. Here I say present it transparently, which is important for a confident organization that knows we are making a difference in the lives of young people. Oh, really? Why should I believe you? Here is our evidence to prove that. Okay? That's what I'm looking for, because I am not a sheep. Okay? I am a member of the critical thinking audience, which then says, why should I believe you? Show me. Don't just tell me. Okay? Any questions about that, by the way?
No questions, sir.
No questions?
Yes, sir.
It's all clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Okay. You know, I want you to know though. I want you to know. I want Ifeoluwa. Did we lose her? She's still there? No, she's still there.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Good, good, good. The difficult thing, just to let you know, what I'm suggesting, and by the end of this session, you'll see, it's not that easy. It takes some time, effort. Okay, like a detective who says, there's a crime here. You see the tape around a body. Aha, something happened here. But a detective, it takes time for the detective, police detective, to collect evidence, to make their case. Okay. So it is going to take time for you guys to collect evidence and then to bring it to life, to prove that you guys are as good as you claim to be. But at least I want, with this session here between us, at least for me to plant the seed in your minds. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Like, all right, moving forward, that we need to produce more of this content to really prove our impact in the lives of our members. Okay. All right. Any questions about that so far? Please let me know. Okay? I'm here for you. All right. George, any thoughts?
Nothing for now, sir.
Yeah. Okay for now. All clear.
Yeah.
Good. Good. All right. Let me return to the PowerPoint. Okay. And by the way, I don't want to keep you too long. Okay. But by the way, I want you to know too, another reason why you guys need strategic storytelling, okay, is also because of honesty, okay? I'm sure you guys would want to become known online as being an honest organization, okay? Again, with so many people out there, so many organizations lying and trying to trick others, okay? That you that you would want to become known as a partner or as an organization, that if they say something, we can believe them. Why? Because whenever they say something, they try to provide evidence to prove it. Okay? That's the kind of reputation we each want as individuals, ideally. Hey, if Michael says something, you can believe it. Why? Because he always provides some facts, some evidence to support that. Okay? Right? I don't just believe him because of his nice words. Okay? But he backs it up with some sort of evidence. Okay? So, okay, we already talked about strategic communication, empathy. Oh, this is very important. Oh, yeah. This number 3, one of my very favorite expressions, I learned this as a young journalist, okay, is show, don't tell, okay? And this is an important philosophy, an important principle in life itself, okay? A lot of people will tell you that, let's say, the government, okay, we have political leaders here who say that I'm the best leader, or I've done this, I've done that. They are telling us, okay, versus actually showing with evidence, with proof, okay? So I often, again, as a journalist, I always try to look past someone's words, okay? Like when I first met Ifeoluwa, right? Very respectfully, I said, you know, that it sounds like you guys are a wonderful organization. It sounds like, but so far I'm seeing through the website, you're telling me what you do. Okay. Yes, I saw photos and all that, but I want some more serious, credible, believable evidence. Okay. So show me. I often say, show, don't tell, show, don't tell. My journalism professors used to say this all the time, okay? So for 30 years, I've embraced this philosophy, all right? So meaning whatever you say in life, whatever you say, you should be able to support it with evidence, okay? Even if your friend says, hey, let's go to that place. It's a fun place. Why should I believe you? Oh, because my other friend was there last week, or last month I was there. We did X, Y, Z. Oh, okay. Now you're showing me that that place was fun. You're not just telling me it was fun. You see what I mean? It can be a very simple principle, okay? Or if one of your parents says you should do this with your life, why should I do that? Show me. Don't just tell me that it brings benefit or some value to my life, okay? So, and actually, after this talk, after this Zoom call, you may tell your friends within We Aspire Youth, hey, you should watch this video with Michael. Why should I do that? Okay. And then you're going to say, because he talked about this, he talked about that. Oh, now you're showing me the value, not just telling me the value. I hope you'll find some value in what I'm saying today. Okay. Anyway, you know what? We're running out of time a little bit, but just briefly, that how I learned some of these skills, okay? This was me. I don't know if you recognize me in the white shirt. I had long hair back then. This was me as a young reporter, okay? That was in Eastern Europe, in Serbia. So I learned many of these skills that I'm describing to you today as a young journalist, okay? I began working in Budapest, Hungary, in the center here. This is the country of Hungary. This is where my father's from. My father was a refugee from this country many years ago, 60 years ago, okay? So when I was a young man at age 24, I returned to his homeland in Central Europe, and that's where I began working as a young freelance foreign correspondent and international journalist. This is the capital city of Budapest, Hungary. Maybe you've heard of the country Hungary. And that's the largest river in Europe. That's the Danube, okay? And that's the parliament there. It's a very, very beautiful city, okay? And so that's where I lived for 6 years. That was my home base. And then all throughout, if you see this region, all throughout Central and Eastern Europe, step by step, I began reporting from all these different countries, okay? For different newspapers and magazines. And here was the very first article that I wrote. Look at that, 1995, almost 30 years ago, was the first piece of international journalism that I produced, okay? This had to do with the war in the former Yugoslavia and Bosnia. It had to do with rape and women who had been raped by soldiers and then gave up their babies and the babies were collected and put into an orphanage. It was became a huge criminal case against the Serbian military leaders for ordering their soldiers to intentionally rape Bosnian Muslim women. So that was my very first story. But then I became a teacher, and you see me in those images there, because then I began to apply some of the lessons learned. Here's what I want to talk to you about: self-interest, okay? So as a journalist, I was thinking, me. What do I want as a freelancer? I was on my own, okay? So my self-interest, I realized that my self-interest is to sell my story ideas. Well, first of all, sell my ideas, convince a newspaper or magazine to like my idea. Then I would produce a story. I wanted to sell the story. I wanted for my story to be published. I wanted to get paid. All right, not to do it for free, but to actually be paid. And I wanted to travel for free. I wanted to establish a relationship with a newspaper magazine that they liked me enough that when I said, hey, I have some ideas for Bulgaria, for Romania, for Albania, okay, that they would say, okay, we're going to pay for your airplane ticket, for your hotel, for your interpreter, for your meals for a 1-week trip, okay? That I had to work hard to earn my own reputation, but I thought about all these, make the boss happy. These was in my self-interest, but I wasn't just thinking me. To be successful, this was 30 years ago for me, okay? That then I began to think about, who's my target? My target are the editors. I need to convince my editor to like my story idea, to publish my story, to pay me for the story, to send me somewhere to report the story. So then I began to think in terms of empathy. If I were the editor, what would I be looking for and why? Okay, so then I began to identify, hey, they're looking for good stories, stories that they themselves cannot produce, that their correspondents can't produce, that someone like me can maybe fill the gap with interesting ideas, even important story ideas, okay? And guess what? Then I realized there was an intersection. You see these two circles? I realized that there was overlap between the two. So I realized, hey, my self-interest overlaps with their self-interest. They're looking for good stories, for interesting stories. Hey, I've got some interesting story ideas. So then I realized in the middle there, can I push the right button? Okay. Can I identify stories that they would like, that they would find interesting and important? Okay. The reason I tell you this, okay, look at the next screen. Okay. I'm applying it to you. What's our organizational self-interest that we aspire youth? Okay. We want to prove that we are who we say we are, do what we say, that we're as good as we claim. We want to impact more people, right? We also want to attract more funds, more money to impact those people. All right, that's what we want. Me, us, us. What about them? Who's our target? The donors, right? Well, what are they looking for? Empathy, right? Imagine ourselves in their shoes. They are looking for credible, believable organizations with capacity, meaning you could say you're a youth organization, but are you truly touching the youth? Are you truly reaching the youth? That are you really on the front lines of that issue? You got to prove it to them, okay? So you've got to publicly prove to the public or to government or to shareholders or donors that we support. That's what they're, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. This is from their perspective. They want to prove, if they are an organization, a company that says, we also have money, we're making lots of money, okay? Our business is focused on profit, but we also want to show that we're a good neighbor, that we give back, okay, to the community. We're looking for nonprofit, not-for-profit organizations like yours. We want to show that we are supporting real organizations making a real difference on the ground. That's their self-interest, okay? And then again, there's an intersection. You want money? There are organizations out there with money looking to give. So can you push the right button? And if you look at the bottom of this slide, it says both sides need to persuasively convince a skeptical audience, okay? How to do that? An impact story, I'll talk about impact stories, can be a win-win to prove the impact for both sides, okay? And any questions about that, by the way? Anyone? I know I'm going fast.
That's good. No, you're fine. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys understand what I mean? Because I don't mind saying this over and over again, as you see with this slide. The key is evidence, okay? And what kind of evidence? Credible, believable evidence, okay? Right? So even when you say, hey, Michael, we've got some evidence, is it believable? I want you guys to explain, here's why it is believable and it's provable, verifiable, okay? So one more thing I want to share with you. You know, my name is Michael Jordan. No, not the basketball player. Sorry to disappoint you. But I also came up with, you know, I've come up with my own skills and strategies. And here I came up with a formula, okay? I call it the Jordan 4-step formula for strategic communications, okay? And in short, it's who, what, why, how, okay? We talked a lot about the who, as you see here. Who exactly is my target audience? Why are they my audience? Why would or should they read this? Why should they care? What can they learn? Okay. In what way can they benefit? Okay. Again, whether you're appealing to other youth, other Nigerian youth to join the organization or donors to contribute money. All right. Now we see them clearly, our target audience, right? And now the hard work begins too, which is, all right, what exactly do I want to say? Remember, I said strategic storytelling, not just any kind of content, but what exactly do I want to write? What point or argument will I make? Or if it's a presentation, okay, right? If you're speaking publicly, what idea do I propose? What message will I deliver directly to their heart, to their mind? What story do we want to tell? Do I want to tell? That's the what. Now, even more difficult, and this is the critical thinking, is why. Why exactly do we want to say this? Why exactly make this point, this argument, okay, or introduce this idea, deliver that message? Why exactly would my audience, here's empathy, why exactly would my audience find this point or argument or idea or message interesting? You guys said you want to attract young people who say, why should I? Why is this good for me? Huh? We're going to tell them this, but why should they find it interesting or important? Okay, why would it work? Why would it hit your target, their heart, their mind? Okay, why would they find it persuasive? Okay, and guys, I came up with this filter. You see down here, ooh, the filter is, again, with empathy. My audience, I'm thinking about the young people, I'm thinking about the donors. My audience, my target audience should find what I'm saying, either my words or what we're publishing on the website or on our social media, should find this content interesting, at least interesting, maybe persuasive, even valuable to them. Hey, this is good for me, right? Why? Why exactly? So you're thinking through, hey guys, let's publish this. Hey guys, let's do that. Wait. Our audience should find this interesting or valuable or beneficial because why? So then I say, finish that sentence. Make the case for why exactly you should say what you want to say. Okay? This is difficult stuff. This is high level critical thinking and argumentation. It's thinking like a lawyer. Okay? So it's not just journalistic work, detective work, it's also making lawyerly arguments, okay? Because then the fourth step is the how, okay? Let's say you guys are sitting around a conference room table. Okay, let's talk about what we want to say and why we want to say that, okay? What we want to do and why we want to do that. Okay, we're in agreement. But now, how do we do it? How do we say it? Okay? With which facts, which details, which evidence, okay? Which photos, which videos, which, as you see down below, supported by what insights, okay? What graphs or graphics? How exactly are we going to make this argument and why exactly make it that way? Okay, guys, I want you to visualize when I say it's like a lawyer. Imagine going into a courtroom, okay, like a lawyer. I call this a lawyerly argument. You're going into a courtroom with a judge and a jury. In this case, the judge could be the donor. They've got money. The judge and jury, they have money. We go in there as a lawyer and we say, Your Honor, my client is innocent. What? You want evidence? It's not enough that I look honest or that my words sound honest? No. The judge and jury want evidence. So then a smart lawyer goes into a courtroom and says, Your Honor, my client is innocent. Here's Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C. Evidence, concrete, credible, verifiable evidence. So in this case, you're saying, Your Honor, We Aspire Youth Mentorship Initiative is a truly impactful organization. And here is Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C, our evidence to prove that. Okay? That's what you want to do, ultimately. What do you think about that?
We're willing to work on it.
All right. That's a good start. I want you guys by the end to become true believers, okay? In what I'm talking about, because you know what? The truth is, I haven't found any better way than this to try to persuade someone who's skeptical. If our audience is smart, we should assume that those who have money, we need, guys, what's interesting about this communication is it also means that we are respectful of the audience. We are respectful of their minds, of their heart and mind, okay? That we say, hey, we believe our audience is smart enough. They're curious, okay? But they're also skeptical, all right? They're critical thinkers. They're not just sheep. They're not going to just believe anything we say, all right? But there's an important difference between a smart, skeptical audience. Oh, really? Why should I believe it? You know what? That person may be closed-minded. This is also important in communications. If you feel like your audience is closed-minded, then don't even waste your breath. If nothing can change their mind, oh, well, it's hopeless, okay? I myself don't like Donald Trump. In fact, I have very strong feelings against Donald Trump. I am closed-minded when it comes to Trump, okay? But his supporters are also very closed-minded, believing only Trump, okay? So I'm not going to get into an argument, into a political discussion with a Trump supporter because it's hopeless, okay? So what we need is, it's okay if our audience is smart and skeptical, but we also start to recognize, are they open-minded? Are they open to being persuaded with evidence? Okay, we hope that a real judge and jury are open-minded. Go ahead, persuade us with your evidence. Okay, that's an audience we can work with. Good, be smart, be skeptical. Don't believe just anything I say or that anyone says. Force us to work hard to present that evidence, okay? So smart, skeptical, but open-minded is what we're hoping for. Any questions about that?
No questions, sir.
Okay, because I want to show you a bit more, okay? I have
No question.
no questions? Good. Okay, hold on. Okay, I talk about this. This is also a really important skill for strategic communications. I call this the core message, okay? Let's say right now you're listening to me and maybe lots of ideas are popping into your head like, hey, after what Michael told us, we should write about this, we should do this, we should do that, let's say this, let's say that, all right? Again, with empathy, let's imagine our audience. They're smart. They're skeptical. We need to work hard to persuade them, but they're open-minded. We also should imagine, what if they can only remember one thing? If they're going to read our website and go through our social media, if they're only going to remember one thing, because remember, our audience, guys, think about yourselves. Every day, you're being bombarded by, you're being hit by so much social media, so much content, so much information every day. What are you going to remember at the end of the day, or tomorrow when you look back to today? What are you going to remember? Okay. And I call it the core message. Okay. If we're going to say something on the website, let's think through what's the one thing we would want them to remember. If they're only going to remember one thing about this story, okay, telling this person's story, Adebola's story, let's say, what's the one thing that they must remember? Okay. And if we agree, yeah, we want them to really know that mentorship is important. We want them to know that mentorship can make the difference, maybe make a difference in a young person's life between going in an unhealthy direction and a healthier direction in their lives. Okay. They must know that. Okay. So then if we agree that should be the one core thing that they remember, then let's see, I do it backward. I say later, one day later, 1 week later, if that's what they're going to remember, then let's make that our core message from the beginning. Okay? Like right now, if I ask you, if you watched a movie last night, okay? And I say, what was the book about? Or what was the movie about? Or the book you're reading, what's the book about? Especially, let's say, a movie. You could naturally say, The movie I watched last night was a story of a mother and son, okay, and their journey, their ups and downs, their emotional roller coaster through life. One sentence to summarize what a movie is about, okay? In this situation too, let's think about what the one core message is that we want them to remember tomorrow, 1 week later. And then let's, if that we agree on that, then let's make that the core message from the beginning, okay? So hold on, next. I already talked about empathy, EQ, context we don't need to talk about. Oh, I want to share with you, guys, I want to give you an example. I want to give you evidence of my work, okay? This is a story from Lesotho, from Africa, okay? A project I worked on, my most meaningful project, okay? You see this woman? I took this photo, I interviewed her, I wrote a story, okay? I was hired in 2015. I was hired by a major NGO, major nonprofit, an American NGO that had been working in Lesotho for 5 years with HIV orphans and their caregivers, okay? And they were under pressure to prove that they actually had some positive impact on Lesotho's HIV orphans and caregivers, okay? So they hired me I took 2 trips into the mountains to interview some of their beneficiaries, okay, the people they'd helped, right? And so I interviewed 24 different Basutu. I took their photos, I shot their photos, and I wrote their story, okay, to bring to light, to prove the impact of this organization. And when I was doing that, while I did that, I developed my own strategy, how to do that. I want to share the strategy with you because now you may be thinking to yourself, okay, we agree with Michael. We like what he's saying in terms of strategic storytelling, but how do you create it? Right? Okay, so now I want to explain to you how you can create this. And so I want to start by showing how I taught myself, how I came up with this skill, okay? Ifeoluwa, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Good, right on. Why did I lose the lights in Akure? It got very dark there. I don't see any more faces. So I feel like I'm just talking into the dark.
I can only see the screen if you're sharing. But let me text and see what's going on.
Okay, everyone's there? Oh, did the power go out?
Yeah, they use generator.
Ah.
Yeah, and somebody stole our light yesterday, so we had to fix it.
Really? Wow. Wow.
We're considering changing to solar power by
Yeah.
the end of the year.
Well, should I wait a few minutes, guys, until they can they
It doesn't take a while, they just switch it over.
okay, so I should wait for the light to go back on because I saw that some of them left the room.
Yeah, they probably went and got the generator. Pause sharing, let me see what's going on. Then I can put them all on the screen.
But by the way, I've been talking a long time. I should hurry up. No, we don't have that much. How much more time do we have?
Maybe another 30 minutes. I see the girl had to go. Remember, I was telling you that the girls don't stay up late.
Yes. Okay.
Are they back?
Okay, good. You're back. Good, good, good. Okay, let me try to speed it up a bit. Okay. Okay. So anyway, this woman had a very interesting story. She had, so then with these 24 stories, it went into a book, okay? Of my photos too. That was one of my photos too. It's a very beautiful country way up in the mountains, okay? In Southern Africa, okay? But they live in a very humble way, as you see, very humble way. And hold on. So then, and I took this photo. So this woman was HIV positive. She was infected by HIV, okay? And her husband was HIV positive. It was her husband who infected her, okay? They already had 3 kids. They wanted a 4th child, okay? But not surprisingly, they did not want that baby to be HIV positive, because the way to survive with HIV is you have to take medication the rest of your life, okay? In the old days with HIV, you might die, okay? But nowadays there's a medication that, hey, if you get tested, learn your status, and if you need the medication, get on the medication, but then you have to be on the medication the rest of your life, okay? So this woman and her husband said, we want another child. We love having children. We love our family. We want a baby, but we don't want to give birth to a baby who's infected by HIV, right? So she's living her life in the mountains, okay? Not much information, not much education, right? And one day, this organization, this health organization, knocks on the door of the village, okay? Comes up into the mountains and says, hey, all young women and mothers, come to our meeting because we want to talk about how to have children in a safe, healthy way, to give birth to HIV negative babies, okay? This woman heard about this meeting, and then she faces a decision, a choice. She could ignore them. I don't believe them. I don't trust these outsiders. I listen to our local witch doctor, okay? They have their own beliefs and traditions, and they have their own healers, okay? Witch doctors. She could have said, no, thanks. I don't want to come to that training, okay? That meeting. I'm going to follow on this path, okay? But in this situation, she discussed with her husband, and she went to the meeting to listen to what these healthcare professionals were saying, okay? And they said, you can give birth to even though you're HIV positive, you can give birth to an HIV negative baby. Really? How can I do that? Come to us every month. We give you the medication. We test you. We make sure everything's fine with the pregnancy, and stay with us, and we will give you the right health care to make sure, okay? And guess what? She listened to them, came down from the mountains every month for checkups, took the meds, and then she gave birth to an HIV negative baby, okay? Happy story. But what I learned was this method, okay? Adebola, are you there, by the way? Did I lose Adebola?
Yes, I'm with you.
Oh, you're
Yes,
there.
I'm here.
Good.
Yeah, yeah.
Good, because this is related to Adebola and you guys, okay? I taught myself, I realized this is like a fork in the road, okay? That in life, every day, we face decisions. Should I go to the left? Should I go to the right? Okay? In this situation, what I learned was that these people I was interviewing, the story begins with, what was their life like before? For this woman, I described her life before, okay? She had 3 healthy children, but then her husband became infected by HIV, okay? Then he infected her with HIV. And their life was difficult with the meds and all that, but then they wanted to have another child. So describing the life before, okay? And then they're living their lives, and then you see the arrow going up to the middle there. Then there's a decision. There's a fork in the road. They want to have another child, right? Off to the left, you're asking someone, well, if you had ignored the intervention, this opportunity, what would your life be like? Instead, the way I describe it is, there's a knock on the door. This organization knocked on the door. Literally, figuratively, they knock on the door. They intervene. They become involved, okay? You can ignore the knock on the door, or you can listen to the knock on the door. In this situation, she listened to the knock on the door, so then she goes off in that direction. And then I say illuminate, meaning bring light onto. Now that is an intervention, and the influence begins. And then you can start to document the impact. And then what happened? And then what happened? And then what happened? And We Aspire has a similar story, okay? You're reaching out to young people. Here's what their life was like before. Adebola, can you turn on your camera, please?
All right, I will do just that.
just as one example, okay? Right? Because I know Adebola, whom I met 10 days ago or so when we first spoke.
Yes, you know him very well.
Very well. Okay. Almost like I'm his uncle by now. Anyway, Adebola, I know, was a mentee, right? So there's Adebola, okay? And here is how you tell Adebola's story, okay? You're interviewing someone, okay? This is the storytelling you guys need to do, all right? You're interviewing someone like Adebola. What was your life like before? Okay, it's a timeline, it's chronology. Describe your life before you even heard of We Aspire Youth Mentorship, okay? And he describes, oh, my life was difficult. My life was hard, okay? My life was challenging. Well, what do you mean? Can you describe some detail? Because you're not writing these stories for other Nigerians, okay? Maybe if you say my life is hard, other Nigerians are like, yeah, I know what you mean. Oh yeah, life is hard. But you're not writing for a Nigerian audience. You're writing for the donors who may be in New York, Paris, London, who've never been to Nigeria, never been to Akure, but for some reason they care. Maybe, again, maybe they have money to give to organizations, to African organizations, to youth organizations, okay? So, okay, we need to tell a story, a Nigerian story, but in a way that even a foreigner, an open-minded foreigner, can try to understand. So then you, as a storyteller, Adebola, please describe for me, paint a picture with your words, what your life was like before, okay? You see what I mean, right? And he, not just his life was hard, but how hard was it? How challenging was it? Well, for example, I didn't have this, I didn't have that, I needed this, I needed that. Describing, painting a picture, okay? And then moving forward, and then how did you hear about We Aspire Youth Mentorship Initiative, right? Oh, my friend told me, my classmate told me, my neighbor told me, or I saw a sign for it, I saw something online. And then what? Why did you pay attention to it? You could have ignored it, right? You could have taken the left. I don't need it. I'm okay with my life. I'll survive on my own, right? Why didn't you? What would your life be like if I had ignored it 5 years ago, 10 years ago? What would your life be like today? Well, maybe I'd be doing this. Maybe my life would still be hard. Maybe I wouldn't have a bright future. You describe it. Okay. The interviewer, the storyteller captures this. However, Adebola listened to the knock on the door. Why? Why? You know what? I thought maybe if they can help me in even one way, they teach me something new, they open my eyes, they give me some opportunity, some benefit for me. I thought maybe, why not? I have time, I'll try. You're asking, okay, why exactly did you listen to the knock on the door? Why did you show up for that first meeting or for that first training or for that first activity? Why? Because, and then you get him to explain, I did it because. And then what happened? What was that first experience like? Describe for me what it was like, what your thoughts were, what your feelings were, what activities you did. So then they told me about this, and I tried that, and he's describing, I liked it. It excited me. I went back home, and suddenly I had ideas about this and that, and then I said, I want to come next week again. Okay, so then you're starting to describe the intervention, right? But also the influence. Now a little seed is planted. I'm just guessing, Adebola, okay, right? But you see what I mean, okay? And then the cultivation, the watering of the seed, okay? Adebola comes back a second time, a third time. He gets involved, okay? And then we start to see some impact. And then what happened? How exactly, Adebola, did it start to impact your life? Okay, right? And the storyteller is drawing this out of you, okay? this is how exactly the organization began to not just impact, change my life. It began to make a difference in my life. This is detective work. This is lawyerly work, but it's very important to do that kind of investigation, to really investigate, to really identify the organization's true impact on an individual like Adebola. Okay? Do you see what I mean? Okay? That's what I'm talking about. What do you guys think?
I think this is something we can produce in the office. One of our media manager is on the call, so I think he's also taking notes. They'll go into the office and do a mock-up.
Well, it's also good. I'm glad to hear that. And by the way, I should clarify, it doesn't have to be that a storyteller telling someone else's story, okay? It could be you guys learning or being taught how to tell your own story, okay? It could be, you know, oh, when I was 8 years old, my life was hard, my life was challenging because of these reasons, or when I was 12, 14, before you even heard of We Aspire Youth Mentorship, right? But I want to show you one thing. This is very important, okay? Because then the real value here, we could talk more in depth about writing, the storytelling, how it looks and all that, but we don't have time today, okay? But I want to show something. Hold on. I could talk about the other Nigerian organization I work for as a global communications advisor, and I've helped them create impact stories. So these are called impact stories. But getting back to your website, okay? Hold on. Yeah, I went through your website, okay? And there's Adebola's story, right? Or not, it's not story, it's your testimonial. See, now you look at the testimonial and you realize the testimonials are not enough, okay? First of all, we should see the face. If you're going to put a testimonial, let's see the face of the person. Let's see the eyes. The eyes are a window onto the soul. We got to see the eyes, okay? So now you look at this. After undergoing a series of mentorship trainings at We Aspire, I transitioned to becoming a well-grounded scholar, transformative leader with bright prospects to make meaningful contributions to both the academic world and digital space. You know what this is? This is telling, not showing. This is classic. Hey, show me. Don't just tell me. Okay? With all due respect, Adebola. What I'm talking about is actually showing Adebola's life and how exactly We Aspire impacted his life. Okay? You see what I mean? And then, and this is really important, guys, is then the key to what I'm talking about with the strategic storytelling is you see that I call it a simple feature. If we just tell Adebola's story, okay, the before and after, his journey at the fork of the road and why he chose to go to the right and not the left, that is just a simple feature. That's nice. There's value if you can get 10 or 20, like if all of you wrote a story about how exactly We Aspire positively impacted my life, okay? And don't just like, oh, it's a wonderful organization, it's awesome, it's excellent, I love the people. No. Concretely, right? You see what I'm talking about? A serious story to show, not tell how exactly, right? But if you look over to the right, okay, it takes that simple feature and it opens it up, okay? Because on your website, you said what? That you've touched 896, almost 900 youth, right? Ifeoluwa.
Correct.
Right? Okay. So then there's a certain skill to then we could take Adebola's story at the top of this diamond. We open with Adebola's story briefly. And then we connect the dots. I call it connecting the dots between his mini story and connecting the dots. That is Adebola unique? I mean, yes, he's special. Yes, he's unique in his own way. or is he actually in this situation part of a broader pattern or trend? Yes, he's actually one of 900 youth whom your organization has reached. So you can open with Adebola's story, and then you can say, but Adebola is not alone. In fact, he's one of 900 youth whom we aspire has reached and positively influenced in their lives. So then Adebola's story is not just a simple feature. He becomes a symbol, a symbolic example of the entire organization and all of your programming, all of your initiatives, okay? He is now, oh, he's one of 900. So you mean there are basically 900 Adebolas whom you've touched. Ah, yes, that's the point, okay? That we want to bring to light for our donors, our target audience. We want to show the impact of our organization. So now let's find we don't need 900 stories, okay? We don't need everyone to write their story. We need a few strategically chosen stories, right? Someone representing maybe financial mentorship, maybe technological help, or your health program, right? Say, oh, we have different programs we want to bring to light to show our impact. Okay, then let's strategically choose a few individuals, tell their story, but in a symbolic way. So then we focus on them early, but then we connect dots to the broader, the big picture of what the program is as one aspect of what we do as an organization. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty clear?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sounds pretty simple.
Well, it's a task we are up to.
What's that?
I think we are up to the task.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that because I think it's necessary for you. With all due respect, I think really, and this is why going back to the beginning, I don't want you guys to be like, Michael taught us something about stories and storytelling. It's not just that. I believe it's the key even to your fundraising, okay? Because the next time you apply for a grant, you apply for money. You say, we do this, we do that. You can say, you know what? We could talk for hours about all the work that we do. Instead, we want some of our beneficiaries to speak for us, to show you, not just tell you, the impact our organization has had on their lives and on the lives of 900 others. And then it could be video, or it could be links. Here are three of the young people whose lives we've impacted. Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C. Your lawyerly argument, okay? So then you can provide that kind of evidence, and that will be more persuasive and more impactful on your audience, okay? That then the donor will see, hopefully, the donor will see, wow, these guys are really doing something in Akure, Nigeria, okay? I'm now persuaded. I was skeptical before, but now I'm seeing they really brought to life their evidence, okay? In storytelling form, strategic storytelling, core message supported by credible, believable evidence, then wrapped into a human story about Adebola or whomever else it is, okay? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty straightforward, right?
Yes.
All right. So what's our next steps? I want to hear from the people on the call now.
Go ahead. What's the next steps?
Tomiwa. Even Bodunde.
Oh, wait, I see Faith raised her hand.
Okay. All right, Faith, go ahead.
All right. First and foremost, please, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
I hear you.
Oh, all right, great. First and foremost, thank you very much for this session. You know, well, personally, I've been on this for quite a while as well. being the
On the
creative
call?
director.
I'm
Like,
sorry.
I mean, on this particular subject.
Introduce
you
yourself.
know,
Okay.
Yes, my name is Faith, by the way, Tomiwa.
Yeah.
So I'm the assigned creative director for the organization. So we've actually been on this for quite a while, and I
Good.
think this session has really, really opened our eyes to so many things that even I myself I've not seen it. I've not really seen it clearly, but I think now I have a clearer picture on what is to do and what we need to do. Yes, the things we really need to do. I think the first step now is, of course, we're coming from the media side. I will say we need to get materials. Like you said, for our storytelling, we need to get materials. So I think our first step is to actually know some of the personal stories of our members, those who we've identified as, yes, we've identified them that, they've had unique experiences with us. Me, for one, I have had my experience is kind of unique. So I tell it everywhere I go. I tell it everywhere I go, whenever I'm asked about We Aspire. So I think that's the first step we are going to do. Coming from the media team now, we will try to get those materials, try to get those people with unique experiences, try to get their stories. So how it has actually impacted them. Then once we get enough materials, we try to cross-reference, we cross-reference them, try to reconcile them, make sure, try to align them that, how did this particular aspect of their story actually comes in? How did it fit into our vision? Okay, maybe for example, maybe some of the results from their story, were we able to achieve them? Like, was it as a result of some of our mission objectives? Were we able to achieve some of those things? You understand what I'm saying? Just try to match everything together.
Yeah.
So then we move to
I agree.
the rebrand, because honestly, I've been on this. We really need a full rebrand, to be honest. We really, really need a full rebrand of the website, of our identity, everything. So we just try to match that, sell a better story. We've had a good story. We have good stories. We have good selling points, but I think it can be better.
And you have evidence.
Yes, and we have lots of evidence.
Okay.
So
that's my key word. You see, I keep saying evidence. I believe you guys. I believe you do have the evidence.
Yes, we have lots of evidence. So
to unearth.
Sir? Yes, I didn't get that.
Go ahead. Oh, you didn't get
All right. So so I said, so we have lots of evidence that we can work with. So
yes,
once we get that, we try to create a kind of new identity. I won't say new identity, just try to renovate our identity, make it clearer, make it bigger, make it more definite, make it more understandable, make it more relatable for our audience. Then I think we'll from there
even make it visual. Even make it
visually, more visually appealing and all that. So
no, I think you guys have some very nice photos. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's just a question of bringing it all together as, like I said, like a lawyerly argument in a court of law. Like, hey, we need to win this argument. Okay,
exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Then it's a question of how to put together this argument. Okay.
So I think that will be the first step. So we'll try to get some of luckily for us, for this call, we have some of the pioneer members of the organization even on this call. So I think we'll start from there. We start from there. Yes,
I agree with you. I agree with you.
We'll start from there.
May I share one thing with you? Just one more thing. One slide. I mean, I'm happy to hear what you just said, because actually that reflects much of what I wrote here. I didn't show you this one slide, which is where should you begin? Okay. And so I believe it should begin with a staff meeting with all the relevant, all the necessary team members. Okay. Let's gather around the conference room table or whatever it is. Right. And let's think about the organization, right? What is our own definition of impact, right? That we want to take, maybe, I'm just guessing, right? We want to take youth who may not feel like they have such a bright future and to put them on a path to make their future brighter, let's say. All right. Whatever it is, we need our own definition of impact. What would it look like? What does it look like? Right. And if we agree, what sort of impact exactly, to be as clear as possible, right? Then if we agree that's what impact looks like, then what exactly would evidence of that impact look like? Let's think about it. Let's really try to visualize it, right? Where exactly would we find it? How exactly would we unearth it? Like pulling it out of the earth to bring that to light, right? So then who exactly is a target audience, right? We talked about that. Why exactly them? Then I always use the word illuminate or illustrate to bring light onto, okay? So then how exactly to illuminate that evidence, that impact for our far away, maybe you're appealing for Nigerian companies for donations, fine, but they still want evidence, right? But for the international donor, then how to bring Nigeria's reality to light, right? And then, and so also, by the way, I didn't even mention this. You see this last line here. You guys have been around for 10 years, roughly 10 years, right? By the way, you're not a new organization, okay? So on your website right now, there's a lot of aspirational language. We are aiming for this. We're hoping for that. We're trying to do this and that. By now, of course, you should have quite a bit of evidence. So I think one of your messages, one of your storylines should be, while we've made XYZ progress, whatever it is, while we've reached and touched 900 lives, okay, the lives of 900 young Nigerians so far, ABC challenges remain, okay? We still want to be able to do X and Y and Z if it's to broaden our reach, to deepen our impact, whatever it is, because ultimately that message to the donor, we've already achieved this, okay? We don't need your money for that. This is what we've achieved, but help us, support us to broaden and deepen our reach, our impact. That's ultimately what you're trying to do, but you need to be able to prove the XYZ progress, okay? And even to prove the challenges. We need your help, your financial assistance to overcome this challenge and that challenge and that challenge, to prove to the donor that we see very clearly, we've done our research, no one knows the youth issue better than we do, okay? The challenges that Nigerian youth face better than we do, okay? You see what I mean? That's a real serious argument that we've made XYZ progress, yet ABC challenges remain. What do you guys think about that?
I think that's a clearer messaging, because really that's always been what we talk about. We want to make deeper impact, not just broader.
Okay, that's right. That's good. Like, let's not spread ourselves too thin. Whatever we do, let's do it well. Let's do it better. Let's specialize in that, and then then we can reach farther and farther, right? And by the way, with that storyline, if you have that now in your top screen, the first screen on your homepage, okay, then when you say we've achieved XYZ, I would want to see a hyperlink there, so that then right away the smart but skeptical audience consuming that content could click on that. Well, we've achieved this. Oh, really? Why should I believe? You say, dear reader, click on that and we will show you the evidence. We will take you to our impact page. And that's where those stories should go. A new category at the top of the website, our impact, which is code for our evidence. Okay. You should be happy to share that with everyone. Like, we've got the evidence now. It's tangible. It can be touched. It's there. It's believable. It's credible. That sort of thing. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Miss Esther.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I actually joined in this meeting late, but I was able to gather some things and gather some knowledge. So I actually have a question, and because my organization actually deals with people behind bars, so it's really hard to portray beneficiaries outside because some of them really have emotional, more like trauma, but they have more like they don't want to come out. They don't want their pictures to be taken sometimes. And it's really hard in portraying what we do on or how far we've come. So in that kind of situation now, what will you advise us to, what would you advise me to do personally?
You know what? It's a very good question. And for 20 years, I was a journalist, okay? And I was interviewing strangers. Okay, I had to learn certain skills as to how do you approach a stranger and convince a stranger to speak, okay, and to share their story with a stranger, or even how do you convince a stranger to allow me to take their photo, okay. And one technique I used, okay, which I'll share with you now, is if you say, "Oh, I'd like to take your photo," and they're like, whoa, why do you want to do that? No, I don't, no. Why do you need it? And you can say, you know what? We have helped you. We're trying to help you, but we also want to help others. And you, by sharing your story, can help others who may be suffering in silence, okay? By sharing your story, that will help us prove our impact and gain more support, right? i.e., money, to attract more support so we can continue to help you and others like you. We need financial assistance to be able to do that. So meaning even to push the right button with them, even their own ego, that wait, you're saying that if I share my story, that can help others? Hopefully that pushes a right button that they may say, oh, okay, I can make it. Thank you very much for helping me. And you're saying that my story can help others. That's what we're asking them to do. Okay. To try. It's not 100% guaranteed that everyone will then say, okay, take my photo. That's okay. No, but you know what? As a journalist, I learned I need to try to be optimistic. Okay, to be hopeful that, you know what, I'm going to try to persuade them why it's in their self-interest to agree to be interviewed, to share their story. And then even, I never asked for a photo first in the first moment. Once I earn their trust and they relax and they start to open up and they see in my eyes that I'm sincere, right? For why I want to share their story with others. I always use that word, share your story with others, not just tell your story, but to share it with others, to also positively influence and impact others who read it, okay? Then after talking to him for an hour, and I said, may I also take your photo? Why? You know why? Because guess what? With those testimonials on your website, again, going back to the Adebola example, all we see is a name and words, okay? Imagine the difference between a name and words and a face and the eyes versus no face, no eyes. It's just words on a page. It's just gray text. That's nothing. We see a face, okay? And we see the eyes. That starts to touch the heart. That touches on our shared humanity, okay? Again, with an open-minded audience, with an open-hearted audience. If I see a Nigerian face of someone who's being helped, that's going to impact me more than just seeing a name and words, okay? So that's why when they say, why do you need a photo? You can say, that will make your story even more impactful, okay? Your words will already start to touch their heart and mind, but a photo, if they can see your eyes, even not that I'm going to force you to smile, but if they see your eyes, okay, that's the real value of photos. It also attracts eyes to a story. If we see a face, okay, who's this person? Why are they being interviewed? And you know, what's so interesting about them? So that's a way to attract people to consume content. But you see what I mean? Esther, that was you who asked the question?
Yes, sir. Yes,
But you
yes.
see what I mean? Like I work hard to try to persuade someone to be photographed. Okay. And what if they may say, oh, but I look terrible. Some people are in a difficult situation, right? So they may feel like, oh, I haven't had my hair done. I don't look good. No, no, no. You look fine. You know what? I just want them to see your eyes. Okay. That you're a real person living a real life. And that's what we're trying to do. That's part of our strategic communications, is to touch the heart and mind of our target audience by sharing these stories. Okay?
Okay, sir.
What I mean?
But in a situation whereby they feel like you're trying to like use them to gain money or gain funds, in their words, or probably like you're portraying them out, do you propose a media consent form?
Oh. No, here in the US, we would only have really a consent form if someone is underage, let's say. It is true that, wait, did I lose everyone? Are you guys there?
Yes, we can hear
Oh,
you, sir.
sorry. I lost all the pictures. Suddenly I thought I was talking to myself. Good, good, good. There are different rules in different places with a consent form. Look, if I'm already using someone's words, and maybe a photo, then it already implies consent. I always try to be as honest as possible. If I'm speaking with someone, then I'll let them know that, I would like to write something for our website, for our social media channels. Why? And then I explain to them why this is important and why they're being very helpful. They're playing a very important role. Okay. And frankly, if you've been providing them with free services, free assistance, I'm not saying you need to put pressure on them, but it's one way that they can repay you for that. Thank you very much for all that you've done for me. And you could provide them with a little bit of anonymity. It could be, all right, then if they're really nervous about their identities, can we just use your first name then? Or worst comes to I could make up a first name for you. But really, your story is important, and even your photo. Or maybe, there are different layers of this. It could be someone even in shadows that you can't quite see, if it really is a very sensitive issue, Like if I've interviewed women, let's say in an abused women's shelter, women who have been beaten or treated very badly by husbands, boyfriends, or whatever. They may be in hiding, okay? And convincing them to share their story. Why? Because others may be suffering in silence. Okay, I'll tell you my story. And may I ask your name? No, I don't want to use my name. Why is that? Because my husband may come looking for me. Okay, okay, okay. No, no, no. I totally understand. The last thing I want to do is to put you in harm's way. Okay. So if you're dealing with a sensitive subject like prisoners and all that, okay. But I do try to get as much of their real identity as possible, because it's a question of trust. How to earn the trust of the audience is to prove that we spoke with a real person, that we didn't just make it up. And so if we see a name, especially if we see a photo, then at least that lowers the wall of suspicion that, okay, I think I believe that they spoke with this person, that this is a real person. You know what I mean?
Yes, I understand, sir. Because recently we actually sent out a newsletter. It was more like a kind of spotlight for our beneficiaries, and we had one of our beneficiaries share a story there. But then I don't know. I'm just feeling, because I actually put his phone in there, and that was without his permission, actually. But though it's something that he initially, when he was actually sharing the story, he was open to being open to the world. He didn't have any issues with it and all. So, but then I felt bad personally, because it's phoning.
Yeah. That, with all due respect, that's a bit too much, unfortunately, because there are crazy people out there who then may stalk, harass. And so that's a bit too much personal information. But, a name, You know, it depends. It depends. You know, like on my website, I put my email address and I think my telephone number too, because I'm a consultant. So I want people, potential clients to consult, you know. But like, for example, over the years, I've written about my kids and I never use their name. Now, some person could try to figure out who exactly my kids are and where are they and all that. So you can't completely protect yourself, right? Ifeoluwa, some crazy person could try to find her in Texas, right? But we don't want to make it too easy for the mentally ill people out there, you know, like by giving a telephone number, that sort of thing. Okay.
Thank you. This
So
is such a great session. Any final words from the office, and then from anybody online before we round up today? George?
Yeah, I actually have a question for him.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. You
What's it been
you've
like
been in
having such a famous name in my life? No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So you've been in this profession for over 25 years, and I want to ask you, is there any challenge or anything difficult for you to do in this profession? Like, is there any problem you failed to solve or a problem that gave you tough time before you were able to solve it?
In the field of journalism and communications?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Wait, any problem or challenge that I've faced
That you failed to solve.
that I failed to solve?
Exactly.
Damn, that's a good question. Failed to solve. So we're not talking about how to make more money. We're not talking about that.
Don't put Michael on the hot seat, George.
No. I appreciate that question. It's a great question. You know, okay. How about this? That's a really good question. Okay. When I was younger, when I was a young man, okay, I used to be more idealistic. And like, I want to change the world. I want to write an article that opens everyone's eyes, or I want to give a training, well, just to say something, you know, that would really have widespread impact. Okay. And I realized as I got older and wiser, I realized that that's almost impossible because there are some very stubborn and closed-minded people, right? I even referred to that earlier in this session, that if someone is truly blinded and closed-minded and all that at some point we shouldn't even waste our breath, okay? But I'm not a religious man. How about this? I'm not a religious man, but I do sometimes quote from the Babylonian Talmud, which goes along the lines of, he who saves a life, it is as if he has saved the world. Okay. He who takes a life, it is as if he has killed the world. Okay. So I began, once I moved to Lesotho, actually, I began to realize, you know what? There are limits to what I can do. Okay. And if I give a training and can positively influence a handful of lives, then that gives me value. Okay. I can't say I want to change society for the better. That's too much. It's unrealistic, and it's going to be emotionally unhealthy, because then it leads to serious frustration and disappointment, disillusionment, and all that. You see what I mean? So, and by the way, my now ex-wife, working for the UN, we would have discussions about this, because she would say, Michael, that's great that you can focus on positively impacting individual lives. But I work for the UN, and we're looking for systemic change, sometimes turning societies upside down for the better, right? And so it's not enough for us to, we saved a few lives here and there. No. We are aiming for bigger stuff. So then guess what? It leads to greater frustration with their challenges, you know, but I was like, hey, I got to worry about my own emotional health and what I can control and what I can achieve. So actually, as a last word, I'll say that it's Saturday morning here in New York City, and I'm very pleased to have spent this time with you guys because I see that you're a receptive, open-minded, smart, skeptical, but open-minded audience. And so I feel like I was able to achieve at least a little bit of impact with you guys today.
Thank you so much, everybody. Round of applause, round of applause.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, but one last thing. Thank you.
Time.
But one last thing. Can everyone turn on their camera, please? I would like to take a screenshot of our entire group.
Okay.
Okay? Because I'll be very open about this too. You know what? I have my own operation, and I thought that this session went very well with you guys. I was happy to see all these faces here. And so I would like to maybe create some videos for my YouTube channel. Okay? So I can also give a little publicity. All right, good. All the cameras are on. Excellent. All right. I'm going to take a few photos, so everyone be patient, okay? So I want to make sure all the eyes are open, no closed eyes. Right? All right, ready? Let me take a few. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Is that your daughter in the background I hear? Ifeoluwa?
Yes.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let me take a few more. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Wait. Hold on. This is hard work. Hold on. Let me take 2 more. I appreciate your patience. This is great. And 1 more. 1 more. And if your eyes are closed, it's not my fault. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. I'll send you the photo so you can see it. Okay. And I'll send you a link to this Zoom recording as well. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr.
My pleasure, guys. We'll talk about future collaboration.
Bodinde will be writing just a feedback on this, and he will be getting across to you. We'll be working on the storytelling and
Okay, maybe I come back for another
yeah,
Okay.
it'll be our pleasure. Oh yeah, he's talking.
Okay, guys. All right, have a good weekend. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye. See y'all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody's coming out of the works now.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Esther, for joining us. Thank you, Ifeoluwa, Joshua.
Yeah,
Faith.
this was fun. This
Yes.
was okay. All right, see you guys. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.